All right, here we go. We should be back in the building on this Monday morning. Let me make sure we're looking good. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We are back at it. Looking all crispy and clean on the screen. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the ClassE Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE Beats, at patreon.com/ClassE Beats. By the way, make sure you check it out. Link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. We've got a great show for y'all today. We have some breaking news. Oh man, I cannot believe this breaking news. Tony Busby is back at it again. And if you haven't heard yet, which most likely you haven't because it just happened in the last hour, you're going to be disgusted by this recent allegations that are coming out, and Tony Busby is behind another Jane Doe. So we're going to get into it in a second. Of course, we've got the Karen Reed trial starting tomorrow. So we're going to pregame a little bit, have a little bit of a prelude, see what's going on. Not going to have any pre-trial hearings today, but we are going to talk about some of the witnesses that are going to be in this trial. We're going to hear from well, we'll get into that a little later. I don't want to give it away. We're going to talk about Tory Lanez today too. But before I get into the show, I gotta say what's up to the people, man. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. Oh shoot, hold on a second. I messed up. I just messed up my whole thing. Lord have mercy. Y'all know what time it is. My awesome, amazing Amy is up in here. Shout out to Amy. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in here this morning. Always showing up and showing love. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. Goodness, I got y'all up here looking crazy. There we go. There's Amy in the building. Who else do we have up in here? We've got A Fitz is in the building. BSV, J Buckmaster, Tanya, Floyd, the real deal, Neil Valencia. We've got Les Cleaver, my guy. Kel Bell, the honorable attorney Kel Bell is in the building. Taco Tuesday is in here a day early. Nosy Rosie, good morning. Who else we got? I know I missed a couple of y'all. Mo Mac is up in here too. We got Tatum in the building. Shout out to Tatum up in here. And we are going to go ahead and get into it. I'll be saying what's up and hey to y'all as we go throughout the show, but I do need to ask you a major favor. If you could, make sure you like the video on your way in. Not only is it free, not only does it help the channel continue to grow, but it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show, and it shares the video out with more people. All right, it helps us promote the channel, and it's free, y'all. I mean, come on, just like the video. I appreciate it. The channel appreciates it. So thank you to everyone who's done that so far. We're going to get into it here in a second. I know I had a couple super chats I wanted to get to. Shout out to, oh, Kara Hampton is in here bright and early. She says with the 5-bomb, good morning to you all. It's Monday. Let's have a great week. I'm like number 15, smile and make someone's day. Shout out to Kara, always showing up and showing love. My guy Les Cleaver is in here with the 5-bomb. He said, let's all praise the Lord for a safe and wonderful week. Amen. And the Karen Reed trial. Great to see each of you. And speaking of praising the Lord, hopefully y'all had a good Easter. Y'all let me know what y'all were doing over the weekend for Easter. I want to hear what y'all got into, all the good food you ate. Even if you're an adult, don't be ashamed. If you went Easter egg hunting, all right, just let me know. All right. Also, I saw somebody else in here. Oh, what is Kel Bell saying? Happy Monday, everyone. I'm so excited. We're going to watch the Karen Reed trial together. The first one was absolutely mind-blowing with the corruption. It's going to be interesting to see as well. Good morning to everyone in here saying good morning. Let's see. What are y'all saying? Great day. Absolutely. Amy said, I got some vitamin D for Easter. Shout out to Amy out there getting the vitamin D. You can always use a little bit more vitamin D, right, Amy? Though she said the sun was shining. It was beautiful. Today is half off peanut butter eggs day. That's the best. That's the second best thing about Easter. Is the day after you get a discount on all the candy. If you know, you know. My complex made baskets for the kids. That's amazing, man. It sounds like you're in the good neighborhood, Tatum. It was nice. I'm from Texas, so we had brisket for Easter. Texas always doing it the right way, man. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. We do have a little bit of breaking news to start the show. I love breaking news here on the channel, and we're gonna get into what's going on. This one is absolutely insane, and To be honest, I'm not happy to report on this. Let's be real, because I am so sick of this attorney. We are back at it again with attorney Tony Busby, and this time he's going after another celebrity. First, we know it was Jay-Z and Diddy, and Tony Busby still is scrambling to figure out everything with some of his multiple Diddy lawsuits. Now we have Shannon Sharpe, Unc, in the building. Club Shay Shay is up here getting sued by Tony Busby and his Jane Doe client. I know, it's another Jane Doe. You guys are shocked, right? We're going to get into the lawsuit here. We don't have the full lawsuit yet, but we do have a couple of clips from what the lawsuit says, and then we'll hear from TMZ, and we'll actually get to hear from Tony Busby too, because he made a statement about what's going on. So here are a couple clips from the lawsuit. And again, shout out to Cat Not Williams for posting these over on X. What is going on here with this lawsuit? So they say the plaintiff claims that they embarked on a rocky, consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The complaint alleges that Sharpe recorded their activities, something without her knowledge, and that he was sharing the videos with others without her permission or knowledge. The complaint contends that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having consensual adult activities with when he accidentally live streamed the encounter on Instagram. If y'all hadn't heard about that video, we're going to get into in a second when we get to the TMZ article. That was per the complaint. The moment at which the plaintiff began to pull away from Sharpe, the complaint claims that he relentlessly pursued her after she stopped answering her phone or sharing her whereabouts. What else do we have? The complaint contends that Sharpe confronted the plaintiff in October of 2024 after she had commenced efforts to separate from him. The complaint details the ensuing encounter, which culminated, in allegedly forcible adult activities against her consent. Are y'all buying this? With what you know of and what you've seen of Shannon Sharpe, which he's been a very public person for a long time, does this sound like something that would be true? Y'all know how I am. You know what we believe on this channel. It's innocent until proven guilty. And especially when it comes to these types of BS lawsuits that Tony Busby has been involved in. So I'm not calling the lawsuit BS yet, but I'm going to assume that this didn't happen and that Shannon Sharpe is innocent. All right, let's keep going. Another alleged incident happened on January of this year. The complaint alleges that Sharpe engaged in unprotected intercourse with the plaintiff, despite her efforts to get him either to stop or to wear a condom. Oh, Lord, Shay Shay, say it ain't so. From the first page of the complaint, a woman can say yes to consensual intercourse relations with the man 99 times. But when she says no one time, that means no. Not only when she says no one time. Oh, man. I'm not going to have the consent conversation today, but if you're into it, if you're in the midst of it, you got things going, it's getting crazy, and you've done everything else, and it's about to get wild. And she's like, no, that's enough. You better stop. Consent, man, if y'all look at how the law views consent in most states, and even from a federal point, it gets scary real quick. So all y'all single people out there, I feel for you, especially the single guys. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling the plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatened to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and assaulted the plaintiff despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. What else do we have? And we're going to get into the TMZ article here shortly. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in LA when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the docs during the first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake a fake rack if she won a weight loss competition with him. Now, this is interesting because Shannon Sharpe, he's admitted to spending some money on some pretty wild things. At one point, and it's been documented, he even admitted to paying for another woman's divorce. Yeah. He said this publicly. And he even talked about it when he was on Undisputed. So I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna assume. I'm obviously gonna assume that he's innocent till proven guilty. But when it comes to the claims in this complaint, I'm not gonna assume that it's true. All right. But this is it's interesting to see what Shannon Sharpe has done in the past and what's being alleged here. She wrote in the suit, Shannon Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling her, texting her, demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. Oh my gosh. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her with the what? He yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Plaintiff tried to share her location with friends from her iPhone, just in case, the doc states. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you. The two nevertheless continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024, summer last year. However, Doe states in her suit that she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident, which she said led to him assaulting her. Oh my God. All right. So let's get into this TMZ lawsuit. Now, you're probably wondering, how much is this chick looking for? Well, $50 million. TMZ's got it here. Shannon Sharpe sued for over $50 million over alleged assault. Shannon Sharpe has just been sued for allegedly assaulting a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. Another thing about consent, you can, oh man, you can remove consent for something that happened in the past. I know. If y'all aren't aware of that, I'm sure the Honorable Attorney Kel Bell will talk to you about it and let you know in the chat. You can remove consent for something that happened in the past. He said, you know, now that I think about it, I didn't want to do that. It's wild out here, y'all. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she says Sharpe brutally assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and at the beginning of 2025, following a years-long abusive relationship. According to the suit, Doe met Shannon Sharpe in 2023. We just read that part. And then he wanted her to move in with him. The woman stated the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got in a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body, Attorney Busby wrote in Doe's lawsuit, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. This is Tony Busby saying this. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Plaintiff tries sharing her location. Okay, we just read that, and he said he was going to kill her. And then obviously we know what happened to Shannon Sharpe with the IG Live incident. We're not going to get into that too much here. If you guys want to know more information about that, Shannon Sharpe and Michelle, IG Live, just look it up. You can figure it out. Doe claimed in her suit the first instance happened in October 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Football Hall of Famer forced himself onto her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January of this year. She claims, Jane Doe claims, Sharpe came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead violently assaulted her once more. Y'all don't be letting people come over to don't do it. It's not worth it. She's suing for over $50 million. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money, Tony Busby said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf. I look forward to pressing this case in court. I bet you do, you piece of scum, garbage, Tony Busby. I'm not going to speak on his livelihood, but if this turns out to be just some more BS, we're going to have a serious conversation, another serious conversation about Tony Buzbee. We have reached out to Shannon Sharpe for comments in this case, but so far, no word back yet. All right, so let's see what Tony Buzbee had to say and what BS he's talking about. You heard a little bit of it here. This is Tony Buzbee's Instagram, and he says, late last night, the Buzbee law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleges she was brutally assaulted by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions. The last incident occurred in January 2025. And of course, he's got the comments turned off on this post. The lawsuit, filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, lays out a pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse, including allegations that Shannon Sharpe threatened to choke and slap Jane Doe. This case seeks $50 million in damages. The case is on file in the Department 11, Clark County State Court, Nevada, the county where the alleged conduct occurred. Hey, Tony, I hope you're admitted to practice there. The egregious and concerning facts of the case are set forth in details in the public filing. I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court. I bet you do. There's Tony Buzbee, man. I gotta hit the button for this dude. I can't believe a word he says or take anything he says seriously. And he posts about it on Instagram. Come on, man. This is just garbage. So we're going to wait to see how this plays out. But y'all know we had to break the news here first. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments in the chat. Are you with Shay Shay on this one? You think it actually did not happen and that Tony Buzbee is up to his usual tricks? Or do you believe the plaintiffs in every single instance? And do you think, well, maybe everything isn't true? Or it seems like there's something there, though. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Y'all, Shay Shay, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Unc. Come on, man. Tony bugs me, as Amy says. Ugh, I can't stand that guy. I even want to say his name is just disgusting. Oh, man. What are y'all saying here? Man, hey, stop talking about brisket. We still talking about that brisket? I can't handle that. I want to see what Kel Bell has to say about consent. Where's Kel Bell at? Okay, y'all are still talking about Karen Reed for 50 million at that. Yeah. Oh, here's Michelle filed a lawsuit. So no, this is not Michelle. And it was actually mentioned. Let me see. Let me go back and find this. It says, so she had the Jane Doe in this instance had an issue with Shannon Sharpe after he was heard on the Instagram live with Michelle. All right. Should I play this video where he apologized? I know there's going to be an ad here, so I'll let the ad play. Y'all give me a second. So she says the complaint contends that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having intercourse with when he accidentally, live streamed the encounter on Instagram. Is she going to expose Shay Shay for doing that on purpose? Is she going to say, oh, Shay Shay, you did that on purpose? You knew what you were doing. That would be hilarious if that comes out, because we all know that was not an accident. Shannon knew what he was doing. All right, here we go. Let's see what TMZ has to say about this.
Obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear.
Come on, Shay Shay.
I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. People count on Shannon. Shay, there are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times. And I always try to be professional at all times, even when I'm behind closed doors. I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities, but to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed.
Come on, Shay Shay.
Gazed in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on.
The crazy thing about this is shortly after he made this apology, he started working with a sponsor for a male enhancement pill. I'll just say it that way. So come on, Shay Shay. We not buying it.
So I don't
actually
know
during
how
the same
works.
video, I think it happened.
And so all of a sudden my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie, and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, on
yes,
IG
you
Live
did.
for, I ain't hit no IG Live button.
Yes, you did, Shay Shay. Stop lying.
They can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, you know, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank.
Yeah, right, man. Shay. Now, I'm not buying that at all right? Shout out to Shay Shay for the amazing performance. He needs to go ahead and start that acting career because you did not hit IG Live on accident. Come on, bro. What else are y'all saying? Oh, and thank you for Kel Bell. Man, backing me up. What does Kel Bell say about consent? Man, we could do a whole live stream on consent. And Kel Bell, I would love to have you come up and talk about this. Because I think, some of y'all have sons? I don't want to go down this route, but a lot of y'all have sons. You need to have this conversation with them if you haven't yet. The Honorable Attorney Kel Bell says, true story. You can withdraw consent, but it needs to be clear so the other person absolutely knows you've withdrawn the consent. Look up Aziz Ansari's case. And Kel Bell says, yes. Oh, Tatum says, while it's happening, Kel Bell? Kel Bell says, yes. You can withdraw consent while it is happening. Guys, you can be in there. Four, 5, 6 strokes in. And it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Good luck. Good luck to you guys. Yeah, if y'all have sons and you have not had this and they're of age and you haven't had this conversation with them, oh, please make sure you do that. Man, we're not going to have that conversation. Either way. Good morning to everyone tuning in. Beautiful Messy Balls in here says good morning. And someone else says, I just got a restraining order over harassment. Take 2. What happened? Didn't have to sue anybody. So she was fine with the firearm in the room. Then she only got scared when he yelled with it in the room. Doesn't make sense, says Mo Mac. Not all. What Tony Busby lawsuit has made sense? I haven't seen one, to be honest. Even Deshaun, although Deshaun Watson was tripping, even the Deshaun Watson lawsuit, I don't know. Let's see. Trying to compare. He needs to be disbarred. Hey, y'all said it. I didn't say it. Negative Nancy's in here. Everybody wants a quick dollar, but wants to remain undercover. Show your face. Say your name. Jane Doe is used for dead people when they can't identify them. Hey, and seeing how, listen, I know this isn't in the Southern District of New York, but if they push to remove anonymity from this Jane Doe, that would be interesting. Nosy Rosie said, why you got to bring up minor details? Hey, listen, I'm just don't shoot the messenger. All these get rich quick schemes, and Tony is getting worse and worse with each case. Amy says exactly what I was thinking. Cassie 2.0. Cassie Jr. scoring woman who now wants 50 million. And that's it. Thank you for saying that, Amy. That's the crazy thing. She said, well, I heard him on IG Live clapping the cheeks of this girl named Michelle, and I was upset. I mean, it's understandable, but I mean, what was the relationship? God, that's crazy. How can you take consent from an act that already happened? Hey, Tatum, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's the law. There's so many. There are so many cases you can look up. Again, y'all go. One of the more famous ones is Aziz Ansari. He's a comedian. Y'all might know him from Parks and Recreation if you watch that show. He had a situation that was very, very interesting. I believe he ended up winning that one, if I remember right. But yeah, it's a scary world out here when it comes to consent. Y'all start looking up these consent laws, you're gonna be like, oh no, what? And look up some of the cases that have happened. It gets worse. Amy says, Shay, that's an expensive lay. Oh man. To me, the timing is ridiculous because news came out about Shannon was set to sign. Shout out to Derek. To me, the timing is ridiculous because news came out Shannon was set to sign a $100 million deal. 2 days later, he has a lawsuit for half of the money. Shaking my gosh darn head. There's no coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. You can't just throw your phone and stuff magically happen. I don't believe him. Nah, he was capping. I'm about to get that sponsorship. Yeah. Come on, Shay. The Oscar goes to Shay. Hey, don't, man. We know what was going on. Amy said, why you got a clap like that? You know how it be, Amy. Don't, come on. Stop playing. She regrets because she can't. I almost read that out loud. Nosy Rosie, I cannot believe you just said that. Good morning, Rhonda. Shout out to Rhonda. Actually, speaking of, give me 1 second, y'all. Speaking of, let me go and find this. Shout out to Rhonda. She actually was showing so much love. Over the weekend, Rhonda dropped a $10 super chat on Sunday, on Easter, showing some love. Thank you for that super chat, Rhonda. I appreciate the love you always show. Floyd said it one more time, like, what? Amy says, stop using Jane Doe. It's now called Jane Ho. Oh, Amy. Definitely watch some folks in the army lose their careers over consent. Keep your hands to yourselves, y'all. It's literally that simple. The Honorable Kel Bell says it's not from the act that's already happened. It's from the act beyond the no. Oh, man. What? Who's that says something about the hips not lying? Hey, y'all, don't listen to brothers. My brothers, the hips lie, okay? Who is that? Shakira? The hips be lying. Kel Bell just told you. If them hips is saying yes and she's saying no, man, I can't believe I'm having this conversation, but get out. Get out of there. Kel Bell, this is one of the scariest things I've ever seen typed in this chat. And it's so true because I've done the research. Trust me, y'all. You got to be careful. It's not from the act that's already happened. It's from the act beyond the no. And we've seen it in other instances too, that aren't SA or that aren't assault. When we talked about Jason Levesque, right? One of the main reasons I believe that Jason Levesque in his trial got convicted the way he did was because he took his shot. The threat was eliminated. But then he took 5 more shots. And it's like, all right, dude, you eliminated the threat. You're doing too much. So it wasn't that he initially shot him. It's that after this guy's laying on the ground, leaking, trying to crawl back to his home, he fired 5 more shots. Was that necessary? And in this case, all right, you were in there getting it in. Maybe things got uncomfortable. She's like, I don't know. I'm good. You better don't do it. Amy said, daddy clapping with authority. Hey, that's the only way I do it. Amy, what are you talking about? You know this. A natural body response gonna have y'all in jail. Oh, Tatum, it's tough out here. It's tough out here, man. It is tough. And they were in a relationship. That's the even crazier thing. Like, guys have gotten locked up for less. They were in a relationship here and she wants $50 million. They were in a relationship. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. And I'll say the same thing for Cassie. I'm sorry. And people don't like it when I say that about Cassie. You were in a relationship. You were there. You stayed there. No. Tay2 said the hips will lie. Yes. I'm in the bind, Shannon. Oh, man. This is scary, man. It's not from the act that's already happened. It's from the act beyond the no. Fellas, keep this in mind. You get successful. You're on your way to success. Be careful. I got to read this one. Shout out to Linda Lane says, hey, ClassE, hope you had a great Easter. Glad to be here and back. Been on the Karen Reed case, ready for 2.0. What a shame. She's being tried again for the second time. Yeah, Linda, as I've stated before, I'm trying to get as little information as I can about this case. I want to be knowledgeable about who the different players are, so I'm not stumbling so much through the court proceedings, because I know a lot of y'all are already way more knowledgeable about this case than I am. But I get the gist, and we're going to talk about coming up what's going on with Turtle Boy here shortly. But it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing how this trial plays out, because from what y'all are saying, this one's going to be a crazier one. LTO said $50 million box. I mean, they were in a relation. The two continued their relationship, the complaint says, even following a move to, she moved with him to Nevada. And she said, oh, he forced me to move. I didn't want to go. Cassie got 30 million. Yes. I don't remember what she initially asked for, but she got 30 M's. She moved to Nevada with this scary, threatening guy. She's like, man, rent be high though. Let me just go a couple more months. We'll make it work. What's even crazier is we handled a case where a woman got on top of a man and initiated the act, and halfway through it, she said she changed her mind. But it was when he was already in the process of injecting. I love how Amy said this. She's such a classy lady. She says, after he was in the process of injecting the DNA and things didn't work out, she filed SA on him and got $500K, and he got 2 years. Amy, thank you for this. Thank you for this, Amy. Wow. It happens all the time. Happens all the time, every day. This is just a regular dude. 500K in 2 years. That's amazing. Y'all, okay, yeah, we don't have to have personal conversations about it, all right? I'm sure y'all are good to go. Yep, this chick wants 50 million, is asking for 50 million. Nobody can force you to move. This is going to be a doozy, big time. LTO said, I know that's right, BSB, but 50 M's? Come on now. She moved with him after he threatened to kill her, by the way. Did he kidnap her and move her? What's going on, says Tatum. She's hoping for a settlement. That's just pathetic. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, y'all don't make it personal. We're just talking. I just want to talk about this situation in general. I'm sure, listen, there's people out there that have been through things and that are actually, have had this happen. But the majority of those people aren't willing to trade in what they've been through for money. Let's just be real. But anyway, I'll leave that where it is. Amy said it was a regular guy, and 2 years in prison for some kitty cat is wild. Please don't bring up personal situations in here. I don't want to do that. It is what it is. Don't bring up your personal situations into it. Are you kidding me on that? Are you kidding me on that? How in the world are you going to start something like that and he has to pay and the poor guy goes to jail? Yeah, Amy said it. This is crazy. It happens all the time. I'll read this one more time and then we'll go on to the next topic. What's even crazier is we handled a case where a woman got on top of the man, initiated the act, and halfway through she said she changed her mind, but he was already in the process of shooting up the club. It didn't work out. She filed SA on him and got $500K in 2 years. I would love to see the details of that. I would love to see the details of that case, Amy. That is crazy. From now on, maybe record every encounter, then you have proof. Well, that's the problem though. She's saying he recorded him. That can be seen as revenge. You know what? Because she mentioned that in the suit. Let me see if I can find it. She said somewhere that he recorded her. Let me see where it says plan to sue for assaulting, saying he brutally assaulted her several times following a years-long abusive relationship. According to the suit, when she was 20 years old, he said he was going to buy her some upgrades. Where does it say that he recorded them and she wasn't happy with that? He demanded complete control over her time and body. Joe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her. Nevertheless, she moved with him to Nevada. It might have been in the first article. And Amy says, meaning make both parties sign something and record. Oh, absolutely. Yes. I agree. And if you don't want to risk going to jail, especially, or you could just, I'm not good. We're not going to have that conversation today. If this was from another lawyer / law firm, then this maybe has more credibility. But from Busby, I don't believe anything he puts out. Well, as much as I can't stand Tony Busby, I'm still looking at this as any way I'd look at any other lawsuit. And we'll have to see what comes out. But I don't believe that Shannon did this. And especially, I don't even like to take the person's reputation into it. And we'll have to look at we'll have to see what the claim actually says once it comes out. But from what I've seen from Shannon, there really isn't anything to show that this would be true. And even if there was, I still don't believe that he's guilty of this. Is innocent until proven guilty. And that goes for criminal and civil for me. Where is the police record of the said abuse for the year?
Stop the cap.
We don't know if there's any criminal charges out yet. Is it possible? Yes, this took place last summer and, well, years long. Last summer and going into January too. So she was on top. It says April O'Neil's baby daddy. Yes. And the case Amy's talking about. Yeah. The girl's up there. She's like, nah, I'm good. Free Unc. Oh, we starting free Unc. Oh, man. Hey, this is a crazy statement. Amy says sleeping with someone and wanting a refund is crazy. She doesn't want a refund, Amy. She wants a payday. She wants to get paid for what does that make her? Oh man. Okay, we're not doing this. So y'all gonna have me. This is not the show for that. We gotta start another channel. They're gonna have everyone out here acting like it's a casting couch audition. So why are you here today? Oh man. All right, we got to get into Karen Reed. I know y'all want to hear some Karen Reed stuff up in here. So, yeah, shout out to Jane Doe, or Cassie 2.0, as Amy called her. She says sleeping with someone and wanting a refund is crazy. She wants a life-altering pay date. 50 M's is what she's talking about. She won't get it, but if there's even a preponderance of the truth in this, Shay Shay's going to be in trouble. Amy said refund. This kitty is worth more than 50 M's. They say, oh my gosh. All right, y'all need to, here we go. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with this Karen Reed trial. We've got a quick update here. Not too much. We might not even get into Tory Lanez today. We'll have to wait and see. But we've got a little bit of an update here when it comes to what's going on in the Karen Reed trial. So we're going to listen to this video from Court TV, and they're talking about aiding Kearney, right? Also known as Turtle Boy. Y'all know someone who is very close to Karen Reed was covering the first trial, and now he's being called to testify because there were some issues there. I'm going to let them break this down because they do a better job. I'll leave a link to the video in the description. Y'all check it out.
Welcome back. This morning, we're taking a look at how a potential witness in the Karen Reed trial could tip the scales. We're talking about Turtle Boy, whose real name is Aiden Kearney. He's a self-published blogger and arguably the most outspoken Karen Reed advocate. And we learned in court on Wednesday what he plans to do if he's called as a witness by the Commonwealth.
There's really no reason to beat around the bush here, Your Honor. The Commonwealth is not going to call my client, Mr. Kearney, who for the record is in the second row here today.
Can I just ask, if he were to call your client, would he take the fifth?
Yes, Judge.
He said he ain't talking. Dang.
Mr. Brennan, do you agree that Mr. Kearney has a Fifth Amendment right?
I think he has a Fifth Amendment privilege. I don't know that he has a Fifth Amendment privilege to all questions that we would ask, but the content that we would go into, I think he clearly would have a Fifth Amendment privilege.
All right, so you're not asking for a Lumen Martin hearing?
I'm not. I think I necessarily would have to delve into issues regarding his open indictments against a number of different victims.
Okay.
And I think there's other information that I can't discuss for other reasons because of court orders.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Judge, I would suggest that the court could take judicial notice of the 16 indictments against him.
So the Commonwealth concedes, and I believe there's a valid
Boston
Fifth Amendment right.
Get me too.
It's important to note that Turtle Boy is the only witness in the case to take the fifth.
Ooh.
None of the innocent witnesses that he is alleged to have intimidated have taken it. Every single one of them has testified, and they will all do so again. So what does that tell you about Turtle Boy? Let's talk about it. I want to bring back in attorney Wendy Murphy and attorney John Phillips. Wendy, starting with you, the turtle's going to hide inside of his shell at the trial. Your thoughts?
I don't blame him.
That was a good one. Can I refer to him as the turd instead of the turtle? Because I'm trying to be as polite as I can without offending everybody.
Oh, dang. Y'all were saying this in the comments. Maybe court over on Court TV, they're not feeling the Karen Reed side of things. Yikes.
In your audience, and you know the words that I'm thinking of using are probably objectionable. He is the most repulsive, harmful, destructive force in this case by far. Now let's just be clear. I respect that he has a right to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. It's an important constitutional right. But what that means to us in the public is we can and should infer that he is hiding evidence that proves he committed crimes. You know, let's just be clear about that. Innocent people do not invoke the Fifth Amendment. Now, let me be clear. When I say innocent, I mean people with nothing to hide, because as the judge made reference, and you heard it in that clip, if the prosecutor thought that his invocation of the Fifth Amendment was not in good faith, that he was just doing it as an excuse so he could sit in the courtroom and pretend to be a reporter, they would have had a hearing. The judge could have said, I find that his assertion of this privilege is not in good faith. He must testify. No, everyone in the room said, he's got stuff to hide. He's a criminal. He's got massive exposure here in terms of spending a good amount of time behind bars. once he's convicted. So absolutely.
So she seems to think he's going to be convicted for what? What did he do? And he's not on trial here. So he should just give up his rights for what? To do the right thing, to help out the prosecution. What is she even arguing here?
Let him take the 5th,
crazy.
but let's all understand what that means.
Yes.
He's done some very bad things in this case. He needs to take the 5th, because if he did testify against himself, that wouldn't be good for his liberty. That's what it all means.
Right. He'd be in even worse trouble than he's already in. You're right, Wendy. And how about the point, I think this can't be underscored enough, that the reason he's got those 16 indictments we heard referenced are because he allegedly intimidated these witnesses, these independent people who didn't ask to be part of this case, just happened to be there that night and can offer something. These innocent people, they all testified. They all were very open in trial number 1. They're all going to testify again in trial number 2. None of them are taking the 5th. And he's accusing all of them of hiding something. John Phillips, what does that say to you about him?
Wow, they don't like this guy.
And he did an interview with the Intelligencer. I'm not familiar with it, but he described himself, and I got to look down, as 3 things. 1, an activist. Okay, he said it, an activist. 2, a journalist. And 3.
The Honorable Attorney Kel Bell is hated in the chat. Dang, did I pick the wrong video? Why are they giving this man so much grief for pleading the 5th? I mean, what's the point of having the right for whatever reason? And assuming that someone pleads the 5th because they have something to hide doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is tough to listen to. I'm with y'all, and I don't even know the issue.
And he did an interview with the Intelligencer. I'm not familiar with it, but he described himself, and I got to look down, as 3 things. 1, an activist. Okay, he said it, an activist. 2, a journalist, and 3, an entertainer or satirist. Those 3 things are entirely inconsistent. You can't be an investigator and go through a case and have objectivity while also being an entertainer, while also worried about your YouTube hits and your social media, bounce. And that's the problem here, is he's trying to wear all of these hats, and one's interfering with the other. And certainly he has a 5th Amendment right, and with an open indictment, the prosecutors certainly don't want to go into that and reveal some information that shouldn't be revealed yet. But it creates this conflict. And, again, he's a guy that wears, and markets free Karen Reed T-shirts.
So what?
That's not objective. He gets exposure, and he gets money from her free campaign, and yet won't testify.
That doesn't make sense. If that's the case, why would you want a guy like that to testify? Yeah, I see what y'all are saying about this. This is garbage. Everything he's just said would make me not want this guy to testify in the first place. If he's completely and totally and outspokenly biased towards Karen Reed, why would you want him there in the first place? Yeah, oh man, I should have listened to this before we played it. This is crazy.
It's gross where we're headed with social media and podcasters, interfering with court. Right.
You're so right, John. I have seen so much more disinformation about this case, disinformation and misinformation about this case than I have any other one I have ever covered. This has been the most vile case for so many reasons, and the victim has gotten lost. And I know you both appreciate that so much as you are advocates for victims. And when we think about what this is really about, this trial has turned into a shameful circus. It really has. And when we think about the origination of this circus, who does it go back to? Gee, Mr. Turtle Boy and his friend, Ms. Karen Reed. Now this relationship is being exposed.
Dang, I'm sorry, yo.
Your thoughts on how Hank Brennan has now made public what those two kept quiet for so long?
This is wild.
Yeah, really important in this case. And by the way, I know we've been saying the only person who took the fifth was this turd man, but Karen took the fifth too. Let's be honest about it, right? So the two criminals took the fifth. Who's surprised? Nobody. But one of the important things.
Oh, she called Karen Reed a criminal. All right. So Court TV, hey, shout out to y'all. So much for the unbiased conversations over on Court TV. She just called Karen Reed a criminal. Yikes. Who is this lady? Who is Wendy Murphy? Is she an attorney? Why would she talk like this as an attorney?
In this case that we really didn't see last time. We all thought about it, but we didn't hear it from the prosecutor per se in a way that sounded like it was going to make a big difference. Hank Brennan now is saying part of what's going on in this case is a disinformation campaign bought and paid for by this criminal who thinks that that's a tactic that, in defense attorney school, one of the things they allow you to do is just pay for PR firms and pay for protesters to show up and pay for bot farms so that social media creates this frenzy and sense that you're actually innocent and it's all a conspiracy. I mean, there are so many mentally ill people who will just buy into that regardless of the evidence. So I think what Hank Brennan's doing is making that part of his case now, saying, not only am I going to prove her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to prove that she was part of a campaign to mislead the public. So that's a very different approach. I was a prosecutor in Massachusetts. I've never had to do that before, both prove my case and disprove nonsense.
Right.
But we're going to hear that in this case.
Wendy, thank you for pointing that out. You're right. He's going to expose it all. He already started, and thank goodness for that, because this is just all about getting to the truth. And Wendy, John, you both, of course, know this. Our courties know. Legally, we know Karen Reed is cloaked in the presumption of innocence. Hank Brennan and the Commonwealth of...
Oh, my God. Whoa. Yo, why didn't y'all warn me about this? Court TV, what do y'all have going on over here? She said legally Karen Reed is cloaked. I gotta run this back. Hold on a second.
Right.
We're going to hear that in this case.
Wendy, thank you for pointing that out. You're right. He's going to expose it all. He already started, and thank goodness for that, because this is just all about getting to the truth. And Wendy, John, you both, of course, know this. Our courties know. Legally, we know Karen Reed is cloaked in the presumption of innocence. Hank.
Legally, Karen Reed is cloaked in the presumption of innocence. Dear Lord, thank you, first of all, for allowing me to have never been involved in this type of legal situation. And also, I want to say, please, dear God, do not let me ever be involved in this type of legal situation. This is just a regular lady who's standing on trial fighting for her life. And we've got attorneys up here absolutely obliterating her after a mistrial. Oh my goodness. So are they just are they just trying to be counterculture here? Are they just trying to go against what Turtle Boy has already said? Because wow, this is some strong language coming from the folks over at Court TV.
Brennan and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts have that burden to carry. And the jury can hold it against her if she doesn't testify. Point taken, Wendy, that she's done a lot of talking to interviews of her choosing and not in the trial last time. We'll see if she changes her mind this time. Stand by for that. We'll have to leave it here for now, but great points from you both always. Wendy Murphy, John Phillips, I know you're busy people. We have to let you both.
Oh, wow. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments in the chat. I've got a lot to say about this, and I know you guys do too. This Karen Reed trial is going to be insane. I see there are some heated opinions on this coming from attorneys, especially. Let me know what y'all think. Wow. Y'all, I'm shocked. I mean, we could go through and we could spend the next 20 minutes breaking down all the different statements from these attorneys in this. Oh, yeah. And shout out to Amy. She said cloaked in innocence means being covered or concealed by a perceived or actual lack of guilt or wrongdoing. The way she used that term, though, is what kind of shocked me. After saying all that, she said, well, we know Karen Reed's cloaked in innocence, meaning that, and the way she said it was legally. She made sure to emphasize, let me run this back. She made sure to emphasize the term legally, which would imply, again, that she believes that there's something else there. Amy says it suggests a state where someone or something is seemingly free from any harm, evil, or negative influence.
Goodness for that, because this is just all about getting to the truth. And Wendy, John, you both, of course, know this. Our courties know. Legally, we know Karen Reed is cloaked in the presumption of innocence. Hank Brennan and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts have that burden to carry. And no one, the jury, can hold it against her if she doesn't testify. Point taken, Wendy, that she's done a lot of talking to interviews of her.
Yeah, see, and then she's like, so we won't hold it against her if she testifies, but she's done all this talking on interviews. She's got the ID documentary. Oh my goodness. Yo, this is crazy. I got to read all these comments because y'all are going in over there. Shout out to everybody in here showing love. Woo! Nick is in the building. Shout out to my guy Nick in here. He says, happy Easter, everyone. I hope you guys all had a good weekend. Stay safe. Thank you, Nick. And thank you for being a member for 7 months. That's some love right there. Always good to see you in the chat, Nick. Thank you for stopping by. Yo, they are pissed. And this lady, what's her name? Wendy something? Wendy Murphy cannot stand Karen Reed. Oh my goodness. I love constitutional law. Everyone is cloaked. My goodness. Regardless of whether you think she's guilty or not, the statements made regarding the defendant's choice to not testify and Turtle Boy's invocation of the fifth should be disturbing to everyone. You know what's scarier than a jury of 12? You know what's more scary than 12 jurors sitting there deciding your fate? There's only one thing that would scare me more than a jury. Do y'all know what that is? We've talked about it here before. And Laura C alluded to it. The only thing more scary, I'll give you guys an example and I want to see if you can guess it. Look at what happened talking to Tony Busby in the Jay-Z situation with Jane Doe. There were entire channels started off of this. There were people who were doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, quintupling down on the fact that Jay-Z was guilty. After things that were easily disproven, you go back to 2000, you look and you see there was no way this could have happened. Then you have the interview that comes out from Tony Busby's client, the Jane Doe. And she says, well, all this stuff happened. Maybe I forgot some things. What? In that same interview, her father, he's like, I didn't pick that chick up. I don't know what she's talking about. Rhonda says, angry mob. You're close. You're close. The only thing scarier to me than a jury of 12 people is the court of public opinion. Because you have knowledgeable, well-spoken, educated, smart attorneys on a video like this, absolutely obliterating you before your trial's even taken place. We even talked about it with Drake and UMG. Something as simple and as silly as a stupid rap beef. And people are going up to Drake's house, taking their hands, digging at the fence, trying to crawl under Drake's fence to get into his house. The court of public opinion is so scary, so dangerous. And to hear these attorneys take this stance after there was not only a mistrial, but after some of y'all are saying you looked at the evidence yourself and it's looking like the Commonwealth may not be being completely honest in this situation. I haven't seen a video like this that shocked me, but hey, I'm not mad at Court TV. They're allowed to have their opinions, but Court TV standing on this, it's easy to see what side of the thing, what side they're on. Commenting on a defendant's right to remain silent and invoking her clearly being guilty because she didn't testify is despicable and embarrassing. Why give them a platform? Oh man. And then they're giving this guy, why would they want Turtle Boy to testify? I don't know. I'm confused. We're going to lose some people, but I got to go back through this and understand. Angry mob. They throw people under the bus all the time. They mobbed up on Diddy. Even when someone is found not guilty, it's irresponsible for attorneys to talk this way. The general public is like a good salacious delivery. Yes, you're right on that tidbit. They think Karen talked with Turtle Boy about her guilt. So they want him to be on, they want him to go on the stand and be able to be cross-examined, I guess. I mean, y'all got to move on. And if that's the case, if this, if what they say about Turtle Boy is true, one, why hasn't he been formally charged? And why hasn't the Commonwealth used that as leverage to get him to testify? We saw that happen with Woody, right? Say, hey, Woody, we're going to put you back in Rice Street. But hey, you don't want to go to Rice Street? Just come on over. Just come on over here for a couple days. It'll be worth it. You'll make some money, get to do some interviews, and then we get to hear what actually happened. And Woody got up there. I don't recall. So why haven't they charged him? If both of them are criminals, why was there a mistrial? And we've heard from multiple jurors, or at least one juror's account, that they didn't feel like the Commonwealth did their job in proving Karen Reed's guilt. If that's the case, why, if Turtle Boy is this big of a criminal, why doesn't he have formal charges? Does he? Did I miss something? He has been charged, but they're BS charges. The Massachusetts immediate statute can be used because people get their feelings hurt. So what is he? Let's do some research live. Let's do some research and find out what he has been charged with. Because I know y'all know, but I want to see the breakdown. Is it intimidating a witness, wasn't it? Witness intimidation, and it was something else. He has charges of witness intimidation. 8 counts of witness. See? Sheesh. Multiple offenses related to his coverage of the Karen Reed murder case. His charges include 8 counts of witness intimidation, 3 counts of conspiracy to intimidate witnesses, 5 counts of picketing a witness, 2 counts of harassing a witness. Oh my God. 1 count of intercepting a wire or oral communication. These charges stem from allegations that Kearney I pronounced it. I want to say Kearney, so I think it's pronounced Kearney. Kearney harassed, we'll say Turtle Boy, harassed and intimidated witnesses involved in the Karen Reed case. Prosecutors claim he confronted witnesses at their homes and workplaces, posted their personal information online, and made profane statements about them. In one instance, he allegedly approached a closed pizza shop owner, or owned by a witness, pressed his face against the window, and spoke into the surveillance camera, questioning the witness's testimony. Turtle Boy's defense argues that his actions are protected under the First Amendment, asserting that his conduct constitutes journalism and political commentary. Sounds like it to me. They maintain that his statements, while provocative, do not meet the legal threshold for criminal threats. Yeah, I mean, if you say if they're up there lying, they should be thrown in jail. That's not really a threat because he doesn't have the power to throw anybody in jail. So what did he actually say? Oh, this is interesting. In addition to the charges related to the Karen Reed case, Turtle Boy faced a separate charge of violating a restraining order obtained by his ex-girlfriend. Uh-oh, TB, come on now. This charge was brought after an alleged altercation in December 2023. He spent 60 days in jail following the revocation of his bail, but was later released on personal recognizance. Turtle Boy has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. His next court appearance is in the Norfolk Superior Court, is scheduled for April 30th, so in 9 days. Oh. See, I didn't know this. I called their play. This is exactly what they're going to do. Yeah, TB's going to testify. I have a feeling, y'all. I have a feeling, unless he just has a Brian Steele level type attorney, I think TB's going to end up testifying. They're using the Woody method to get him to testify. Now, the thing about that is, Woody was a horrible witness for the prosecution, and we saw that play out. This guy, it was so bad. I'm sure that they regret having him testify now, seeing what happened. Hold on, what did I do? Okay, we're good. Y'all are saying he's not going to testify? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, he might be compelled to testify. We'll have to wait and see what happens, because I feel like we've seen this play run before in a different instance. So TB is ride or die for Karen Reed. He believes in her. One count is him intimidating a window by talking to a camera. I think you meant to say witness on that one. Apparently, if you look at someone that's a witness in that town, you're guilty. Commonwealth tried to charge Karen Reed and TB with conspiracy to commit witness intimidation, but the grand jury returned a no bill. If you watch the first trial, I will not, you would see what everyone is talking about is horrible. They're BS. Yeah. No, see, he meant window. Intimidating a window. That's crazy. That was a total setup by the girlfriend in the district attorney's office. Oh, man. All this stuff is opinion-based. Please don't set those precedences. All 2025 and going forward, content creators will be called for a deposition. Dang. I hope not. Let me see. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. For real, it was a window. I want to see if I can find this video. Do we have the video somewhere? I'm going to see if we can find this. Sorry, Tory Lanez. I know we're supposed to talk to you today. We might not get to Tory Lanez today. Let's see. Is there a video? There's a video of this. This is crazy. There is a video. Oh my gosh. What was he doing? This is somebody else's YouTube video though. I just want to get the actual Oh, it's his. Oh, it's his video.
Call this Bang Bang. Seriously?
Okay, Turtle Boy. Hey, listen, man. I'm on your side, brother. Don't copyright strike me, okay? You know it'd be wild out here. So let me see. This is a live stream that he did. I want to see if he plays the video. Y'all go subscribe to Turtle Boy Live. I don't know. Some streamers out here be tripping. And by the way, I had an issue with another YouTuber over here when it comes to content. There were things filed. We won. I'm gonna be talking about it over on the Patreon. So if y'all haven't joined the Patreon yet, make sure you go over there and check it out. I'm trying. Okay, I'll have to research this and maybe find it later. Cause I don't count this as the Karen Reed trial. This is something totally separate. Let's see. Motion to dismiss the hearing. So his lawyer, it looks like his attorney's arguing it. That's dope that he's a content creator.
Oh yeah. Let me just I talked to the lawyers at side.
And this is how I knew. This is when I knew they were talking about the whole new thing.
Not tacking. They were
Now,
tacking.
this is
about
a
it.
lie. I want to point this out.
I want to see the video, man. Turtle Boy, where's the video? I'm gonna hit him up.
Was an incident last night. Apparently, the defendant and a friend were at CF McCarthy's, which is a bar in Canton. It's next door to D&E Pizza, which is owned by one of the witnesses in this case, and his son, who was also a witness in this case, and I should say they're witnesses in the Karen Reed case, works there, and they are both victims listed within the indictments that are before Your Honor. At the end of the evening, the son closed up at D&E Pizza and went home. There was a video.
Just to be clear, I had no idea, and I don't even know if this is true, that Colin Albert worked at D&E Pizza. None whatsoever. It doesn't surprise me.
I'm trying to find the video.
But I've never seen him. I see Jim Ferris delivering pizzas. I've never seen Colin Albert doing it. But, you know, and I knew Chris Albert was at the select board meeting, so I knew he wasn't there. I specifically went at a time when I knew that I wouldn't be running into Chris Albert. So there's that.
Camera, possibly more than one in particular, in the window of D&E Pizza. And what it recorded was that Mr. Kearney left.
I want to find this video.
McCarthy's next door.
And this was from a month ago.
In the company of a friend, or shortly joined by a friend, walked up, either noticed or had previously noticed the video camera, and walked up to the window quite close, pressed his face up against the window almost, and then stepped back for a moment or two.
So I looked in a window.
That's crazy.
Of a store that was empty.
That's insane.
Okay, then what?
Spent a couple of minutes just staring there, and then went into a 2-minute.
I guess you could. I don't know if creepiness is a crime. I guess you could say that's. If you just saw a guy staring at a window, which is apparently what I was doing, just staring. I did not know that was illegal. But go ahead.
It's a diatribe, saying hello to the witness. What have you done? I wish he was alive today. Why did you do that, Chris? He's talking to Chris Albert, the witness.
So what do you guys think he's talking about there? He would be alive today. Who is he trying to make the judge think that I'm talking about here? What do you guys think? Who is Cosgrove? Again, he's reading a police report here, written by Brian Tully. Who is he trying to make it sound like I'm talking about? Who's dead? Who is he trying to make it sound like I'm talking about?
Nah, he's funny.
Yeah.
He seems pretty funny.
John O'Keefe, right? But I'm not.
All right, I'm trying to find the video. Shout out to y'all for letting me know about that, though. It seems like a good content creator. I'm going to check him out. Turtle Boy Live, I imagine, isn't his only YouTube channel, though. He's got a GoFundMe, or I'll drop this in the link, or this link in the chat, too, if y'all want to go support him. He's over on GoSendGo for his defense fund. His goal is 200,000. He's raised over 171,000 $1,000. Congratulations to him. I think he should be good. I wish. I'm trying to find. I wish there was somebody who just had the actual video footage, but yeah. He says Google TB window intimidation video. Let me see. TB. I can't find it for some reason. Window in. No, they don't show it there. Let's go back. Let's do it this way.
Tonight, a blogger accusing police and prosecutors of a cover-up in the death of a Boston police officer has his own legal troubles, charged with intimidating witnesses.
They're not happy with them.
He calls himself Turtle Boy, and he's trying to prove that the woman charged with her boyfriend's murder is innocent. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm David Wade. Prosecutors say he used his online platform to harass witnesses. As Tammy Mutasa shows us, he's defiant and calls himself a victim.
Tonight, the controversial Turtle Boy news blogger is out after being arrested for intimidating witnesses in the divisive Karen Reed murder case. He says he was just exercising his First Amendment rights, but prosecutors say he crossed the line.
Are they going to show the video?
Free Karen Reed sweatshirt. Aiden Kearney has been a staunch defender of Reed, who's accused of backing over her Boston police officer boyfriend, John
Crazy.
O'Keefe, with her car and leaving him to die last January. Now he's defending himself after prosecutors say he went too far intimidating witnesses in the case, facing 9 charges.
I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. Thank you!
The local blogger, known for his confrontational Turtle Boy blog, has gained a big online
His Turtle
following
Boy blog.
for supporting Reed's defense's claims that she was framed.
This is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. It's a sign of weakness what they're doing right now.
But in hundreds of charging docs, special prosecutors say Kearney harassed witnesses, often filming himself while confronting them, calling them at their homes, and even showing up to their kids' sports games.
Oh, dang, you can't do that, bruh.
Kearney posted a video on his YouTube channel after visiting a witness's home, saying,
"Pardon me, these people think I'm around. You haven't seen the last of me."
Prosecutors say he also shared an investigating state trooper's phone number online. Then the trooper started getting random and harassing text messages and voicemails. Prosecutors say Kearney called the trooper's wife, leaving her messages like this.
Interesting. What happened?
Prosecutors say Kearney called the trooper's wife, leaving her messages like this.
Oh, man, the video messed up.
Prosecutors say Kearney had her look up the license plates of 3 witnesses.
Dispatcher responds with a message again. "Please keep me private. I don't anticipate up in life and never want the wrath of you."
Kearney was ordered to stay away from the witnesses either directly or indirectly. He's
Seems
expected
fair.
back in court in December. In Stoughton, Tammy Mutasa, WBZ News.
Yeah, he sounds like he needs to chill out, but we'll have to see how this plays out. Either way, I think we're gonna get into that other article tomorrow. All right, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who supported. We're breaking some news here. Karen Reed starts tomorrow morning. Y'all know we're gonna be here bright and early. Get ready for it. This is gonna be interesting to try to say the least. Joe Flipperhead has the video. Who is coming up with these names? I mean, I guess I can't say anything. I go by ClassE, so, but I mean, geez. Joe Flipperhead. Turtle Boy, that's, all right. All right. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. Get ready, because we're going to be here all day tomorrow. Opening statements, through the breaks, everything. So we're going to stream the entire thing. Shout out to Judge Beb for starting at 9 and finishing at 4. Woo! Get ready for it. Oh, wait, did Amy find it? Hold on a second. Let me see if she found it.
His real name is...
Okay, she might have it. Hold on. We're not leaving yet. We got to try this one more time.
Aiden Carney, the blogger known as Turtle Boy, and he's been one of Karen Reed's biggest supporters both online and outside the courthouse. But police and prosecutors say what he did here the other night crossed the line.
Here we go.
Aiden Carney posed for pictures outside the courthouse moments after he faced a judge for the 4th time on witness intimidation charges.
Shout out to Amy. She's
a
amazing.
distraction. That's all this is.
State police say surveillance video caught Carney and others walking up to a pizza shop in Canton, which was closed at the time. They say Carney waved his hand, pressed his face against the window, and started saying this.
Why did you do that, Chris? Chris, why did you tell the jury that you got home?
Chris is Chris Elbert, the owner of the pizza shop and one of the witnesses who testified at Karen Reed's first trial for the death of John O'Keefe. Carney's lawyer told the judge that what he said outside the pizza shop was not a threat.
Was it unwise what he did? Yeah, you wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't have done it. Nonetheless, what do you do about it?
As the blogger known as Turtle Boy, Carney has been promoting Reed's claim that someone else killed O'Keefe. In a new court filing, prosecutors in the Reed case say they want Carney's phone data. They say it will prove Reed and her attorneys have been pulling his strings, saying, quote, the parties directly encouraged Mr. Carney to continue personal attacks on witnesses and their family members.
I understand how this works. You're allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to vocalize those opinions, even if people don't like them. So that's all I've done. And this whole thing, I've vocalized my opinions about the Karen Reed case and the witnesses involved in it.
Now, the judge in Carney's case said he wanted to be sensitive to his free speech rights, but he also ordered Carney at this point to stay away from the witnesses, their homes, and their businesses. Live in Canton, David Munich, WCVB News Center 5.
All right, David, before you go, though, there are some new updates tonight in Karen Reed's case. The judge, we understand, okayed testimony from a second expert on dog bites. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's right. You'll remember that the defense's theory largely rests up on the idea that John O'Keefe was bitten by a dog on the night that he died. Well, now the prosecution says they have an expert who found that dog, measured its teeth, made a mold of its mouth and the teeth, and then compared it to the marks on John O'Keefe's arm. That prosecution witness is expected to testify at the second trial that the marks and the teeth do not match.
Yeah, and we saw that on Friday when we heard the Commonwealth was saying that they didn't want to let the expert in, and there was back and forth about that. So we are going to hear from that expert as we found out. Either way, shout out to Amy doing Amy things up in here. Get me that one. Appreciate you. This is crazy though. Thank you, Amy, for sending that over, and we'll get to. Well, this one's 56 minutes. I don't want to use too much. I don't want to use too much of his content just because people get a little bit testy about that. So either way, y'all go check him out. We're going to be back here tomorrow. Karen Reed trial is starting. Get ready for it. Hope y'all have a great rest of your afternoon. As always, you know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gone until tomorrow. Peace. Wow.